Shalom, shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites, and we come out to preach unto our people that there's a better way than this wicked captivity. That this captivity ain't gonna go on forever. And that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the best people on earth. They need to hear this.
Right.
Because our people always think that they're subjugated to being the worst people. Because we're called black. Because we're called all these bywords, all these proverbs. But all these bywords and proverbs were put here to keep us down. But we've come out here to teach our people that bywords and proverbs are not what you are. That you are the greatest people. That despite what anyone wants to say, you still are the greatest people, and all the other nations are supposed to be inferior to you. But without further ado, let me give all praises unto the Most High before I start kicking it off. And I say, Barakatai Yahawah, Barakatai Yahawah, Barakatai Yahawah, Barakatai Yahawah. I Emmanuel, Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, Kwam Yasharallah. Right, let me just quickly get on the history of Valentine's Day, because yesterday and throughout this weekend, bare of our Israelite brothers and sisters are going to be celebrating this stupid day, not knowing the history behind Valentine's Day. And the Lord didn't command us to give flowers onto our women and say, oh, happy Valentine's Day. It's not in the Bible. You can't find it anywhere.
Right.
Read my first scripture, please.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
O house of Israel. That's why Esau can go, and all the other nations can go, and they can get their big Valentine's card, big Valentine flowers, waste all of their money. They can do that. But the Israelites, we can't be celebrating no Valentine's Day because it's stupidness.
Right.
Valentine's Day is connected onto the Edomites. It's a Roman custom, beating the women because it gave them some fertility. That's the history behind Valentine's Day. And when you're celebrating that, you're not even deep in what you're celebrating. You're actually celebrating abuse.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
So it's not in the Israelite man, woman and child's knowledge to go and celebrate what the heathen are celebrating.
Right.
Because this is a heathen custom. To get a big bouquet of flowers and a big card and all of that, that's all folly. And the worst thing is, we know why bare man will celebrate Valentine's Day. It's to get the thing. But then when you get the thing and you do it unprotected, what happens? Most of the time you might have a child, and then next thing you know, you're telling a woman to get a plan B and an abortion, and you're murdering the child. So this is set up wickedly.
Right.
That you're gonna go and commit an act, but you don't want to bear the repercussions of your act.
Right.
That's why we should not be celebrating Valentine's Day. The Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. He didn't say, celebrate Valentine's Day and multiply.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them.
And we can't be dismayed at the signs that are going on, and the stars and all of the things that are in awe to us. Because the heathen are dismayed at them. So make them think on what they want to think. Make them think on their science, on their physics,
Right.
on all of their theories that they want to have. Make the heathen focus on them. But for the Hebrew Israelite man, woman and child, stay away from that.
Right.
I'll jump to Amos for me, please.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21. I hate I despise your feast days.
Now the Lord loves when you cook your woman a big fat meal.
I despise your feast days.
So the Lord hates it when we're celebrating Valentine's, because it's not permitted unto us to be celebrating Valentine's. To think that, oh, I'm gonna get a candlelit meal, I'm gonna spend bare money on my woman. Nah, man. If you want to treat your wife, you got time to treat your wife. It doesn't have to be on one specific day.
Right.
And the worst thing is that the women, especially of this generation, will be like, oh, but you didn't take me out to Valentine's Day. Oh, me and you ain't gonna be together no more because you didn't do this and that for me. I want a man with money. That's all folly and stupidness.
Right.
It's not anything godly, because when you're saying you want a man with money, that man might have his money from the devil.
Right.
That man might be selling drugs for that money. So if you want to pick up a godly man that is in the Bible and isn't celebrating Valentine's Day, that puts God first,
right,
and makes everything, the Lord will provide for him, because we don't need money like that.
Right.
We're satisfied with having the Lord.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
And the Lord's not going to smell in your solemn assemblies. He's not going to be with you on that day. Right, a priest.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
So we can't envy, we can't say, oh, I want to do what Esau's doing, I want to celebrate Valentine's Day, I want to get my woman a big bouquet of flowers and be like, oh honey, I love you today. Nah man, that's all stupidn't. It's wickedness. And then the next week, you got well, there's all wickedness coming up over you, and then you want to smash her down for no reason, because there's a spirit that's working, and that spirit is a demonic spirit, because Valentine's Day is a demonic thing. It's like I said, or like what history says, when the Romans used to beat their women because it was supposed to provide some kind of fertility. That's stupidness. That's how you know Esau's stupid and you shouldn't be following after his ways. Because how are you going to beat someone in order to make them fertile? Anyway, because that wasn't the main point of my lesson today, I was just bringing that out to tell our people, come away from Valentine's Day, come away from all of these funny things that is going on. Get me Job chapter 9 and verse 24. Read that.
Job chapter 9 verse 24.
Read out.
The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. We're going to find out who this wicked is.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
He covereth the faces of the judges. This is talking about he covers the faces of the people in the Bible. He goes and paints Jesus Christ as a cracker. He goes and he paints Moses as one like himself. This person is the wicked of the earth.
That's right.
And we're out here to expose him. We're out here to not spare his feelings, because he didn't spare our feelings when we were in the slave fields and he was beating us black and blue. He didn't spare our feelings feeding our babies to alligators and making crocodile boots out of our children. And we're not going to hold this back, because this is just the truth.
Right?
Everyone says they're fighting for the truth, but what is the actual truth? Bring up Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 58 and verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not.
So we have to cry out loud. We have to cry out loud for our ancestors.
Right.
We have to spare not. We're not sparing anyone's feelings. We're not sparing Esau's, Ishmael's,
That's right.
any other nation's feelings.
That's right.
Because they didn't spare our feelings. They're still oppressing us until today. They still internally hate us.
Right.
They're outside still putting up Nazi flags. Still saying, oh, I love when black people kill other black people. They kill two birds with one stone. That's the things that they're saying now. These people are wicked. These people need... I turn the camera on that. Just like what I was saying. These people are wicked.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and shew my people their transgressions.
And lift up our voices like a trumpet, like an instrument, and show the people their transgressions. Show them that they're not following the right way when they're following after the ways of the world. Show them that they're the kings and princes on the earth, that they're better than being GMs, that they're better than roadmen, that they're better than whatever that they want to call them, that they're not niggers. They are, read on.
And the house of Jacob their sins.
And the house of Jacob their sins. Because we're out here to bring Jacob back to the marriage.
Right.
We're out here to show Jacob that they are the kings and the princesses and princes on earth. And that all of these other nations are supposed to be inferior. These nations aren't supposed to be ruling over us.
Right.
This world was made for us. Get me that in 2nd Esdras chapter 7 and verse 12.
Wait.
Exodus 21 verse 1. Now these are the judgment which thou shalt set before them.
Don't worry about that. Carry on.
If thou buy an Hebrew 770 servant 6 years, he shall serve, and he in the
Reread it.
in the seventh he shall go out free for nothing.
So read that for me again.
From the
Yes.
21, Exodus 21, verse 1. Now these are the judgment which thou shalt set before them. 2. If thou buy a Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve, and in the seventh he shall go out free for nothing.
So this is saying that in 6 years, where if you are to buy a Hebrew servant, you're supposed to make him carry out his service. But in the 7th year, he should go out free. How long have we still been in this captivity? How long has the oppressors still been oppressing us? How long have they still got free labor off of us? We're not in hardcore bondage, but we're still in slavery.
Right.
We haven't come out of it because we have a job. They want to say that we're out of slavery. But still, we're still in slavery because we're still serving someone else. We have to go on to this nation for everything.
Right.
This nation controls where we go from where we don't go. This nation is over policing us. This nation is still deporting us. What my brother brought out last week. This nation still has the authority to say, get out of the country when it's rightfully their country.
Right.
And they want to say, oh, get out of America, when America belongs onto the Native Americans. It doesn't belong onto Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump is a flipping imposter. and he's a criminal, and he's a little scumbag and rat bag. That's what he is.
Right.
He ain't nothing good. He ain't gonna make America great again. Look how long they've been trying to make America great. America was great when the Native Americans were there and when they were dwelling and doing things in righteousness. That's when America was great. That was never great. And when we were in slavery, that's when they were getting their free labor. So it was so called great then. But now they're losing power, literally. Nations are starting to realize, hang on, this nation is the most hypocritical nation on earth. But we've been saying this from ages. If you can't see that, you're a dumbass. But for people only to be recognizing that America's the biggest hypocrites, you guys have got something coming. Because that means you've been under the illusion for so long.
Right.
You've been under the illusion that, or under the American dream, under the illusion of, oh, I have to keep quiet unless I'm going to get cancelled, and the cancel culture. But we're not going to be afraid to bring out these words. These words is what set us free. Get me John chapter 8 and verse 32.
John chapter 8 and verse 32.
Bring it up.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And we're gonna know this truth, and the truth is gonna make us free. That's why we're not afraid to come out. We're not afraid to show our people, you're the kings, you're the princesses. And we're not afraid to tell Esau, you're the devil.
Right.
We're not afraid to tell Ishmael, you're the devil. We're not afraid to tell any of these nations what they rightfully are. Because these nations are the wicked of the earth. You got a minute for God? You got a minute for God? You're a Muslim? No. Are you an Arab? So then how are you a Muslim? Huh? I know you're lying still.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
So we can't do anything against the truth, but for the truth. We have to preach this word. We have to bring it out, because we can't do anything against it. The truth is here to make us free. It has made us free. That we're not under mental slavery no more. That we're not looking at another nation to save us.
Right.
The nation that put us in captivity, we're looking to save. Saying that, but we can have equality one day. That equality will come soon. Equality was never made. God set a division in the bounds of the people.
Right.
And he gave one people a heritage, and he gave another people a heritage of a mountain. Bring out your precept.
Isaiah.
Bring it out.
Isaiah 60 verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
So the nations that don't want to serve the Most High, don't want to serve Yahawah, their lands, their places, their strongholds are going to be wasted.
Right.
America thinks he can continue on with his, because he has nuclear missiles. But look how many other countries now have nuclear missiles.
Right.
Even Pakistan has nuclear missiles. India has nuclear missiles.
That's right.
And Russia has nuclear missiles. Russia has a thing called the dead man's hand. And the dead man's hand is when the nuclear missiles will fire. It doesn't matter where and when, but the nuclear missiles will fire.
Right.
Because when America starts sending the missiles, it doesn't matter. Russia's going kamikaze. Those missiles from those silos are gonna fire as well and hit America. That's the dead man's hand that Russia has. What did I tell you to get? Yeah, get me. Read Maccabees.
3:48. First Maccabees. Yeah, first Maccabees.
First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen sought to paint the likeness of the images.
So the heathen laid open the Bible, and do you know what they did? They sought to paint the likeness of they in other words, they committed identity fraud.
Right.
They fraudulently painted themselves in the Bible and said, "Oh no, Jesus Christ is Caesar Borgia. The greatest Solomon is a cracker." That's what they did.
Right.
They didn't keep the original text. The original text shows that Solomon is a so-called black man.
Right.
The original text shows that Jesus Christ is a so-called black man. The original text shows that Jeremiah is a so-called black man. The original text shows that Job is a so-called black man. The original text shows that Moses is a so-called black man. Because how can it be a miracle if the Lord said, Moses, put your hand in your bosom, and it came out leprous? Leprous is white. That means he had to be a so-called melanated man.
right.
He couldn't be a cracker or a pale skinned guy. He had to be a Hebrew Israelite man. He had to be a so-called black man. And again, the dust of the ground, the soil, what color is that? That color is brown.
Right.
That color is the flipping, what they call white. So how can, this is the foolishness that they want to fool our people with. And our people love to, lap it up like a dog. But we're not going to lap it up like a dog. That's why I said we're out here bringing this information out. Because our people have been fooled for so long.
Right.
But they've been fooled because they've been indoctrinated with all kinds of crap. With all kinds of folly that the oppressors told them to do. About man can take up next man. That's indoctrination. And they're imposing it on the children.
Right.
On the young 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, to be listening to all of this crap and internally knowing that it's not right. So that now the man has become feminine and the women have now become masculine.
Right.
They become like hard-boiled eggs, tough. They're not feminine anymore. The women of this generation has become so masculine that they chat like men. They even starting to grow facial hair like men. Bring out your precept.
Yeah. This is the book of Ezekiel 35 and verse 2.
Read on.
Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus says the Lord, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hands against thee, and I will make thee desolate.
So Mount Seir is the capital of the Edomites.
Right.
Mount Seir is what we would call the Caucasians. This is your mountain. This is why you love to rock climb. And Mount Seir will be left a desolation and will be left a wasteland.
Right.
Because you committed horrible treason onto the Israelites. You committed horrible treason onto all of the nations. You don't even leave the food alone. You don't even leave the water sources alone. You don't even leave the people alone. You oppress, oppress, and oppress till there is no more words for oppression. Read on.
Verse 4. I will lay thy cities waste.
Yes, so your cities are going to be laid waste.
And
inflation's going to go sky high. Interest rates are going sky high. The cost of living crisis is going to continue. It's not even just economics. This place is going to be flattened too.
Right.
Not just America. London's getting flattened. Lincoln is getting flattened. Glasgow's getting flattened. All these places are getting flattened.
Right.
Read on.
And thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by force.
So Esau especially is going to know and is going to feel the wrath of the Lord.
Right.
Because he wanted to hate on his brother Jacob from birth. You gave away your birthright and sold it for food, and now you wanna take it back, and up until now you're still jealous. You're still jealous that we can do everything better than you, and you have the cheek to say that we don't have the intellect like you, when you copied everything off of us,
Right.
but you just put your face on it. That's all you do, because that's the only thing you're good at, stealing.
Right.
And you want to call us the robbers. The only thing that you guys were meant to do was to steal and live by the sword. That's why you're so good at it. And you're good at covering up your tracks after. Anyway, better precept.
Obadiah 1 verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Because of the violence against your brother Jacob, because of the violence that and the tyranny and the monstrosities that you've committed onto Jacob, your places are going to be waste. Your heritage is going to be waste.
Right.
You're not going to come back on the earth anymore and say, and you're not going to come back and say, oh, I'm going to build, I'm going to repopulate the earth, because there'll be no space for you. Once your 1,000 years of labor is done, you're getting eliminated.
That's right.
You ain't going to be here no more. There ain't going to be no more of you. You're just going to go. Because, and then the earth's going to be at peace. Because the earth needs peace. This place, the earth can't even breathe properly because you put concrete over it. And you make this whole place a concrete jungle. That's why everyone's bare depressed over here. There's no greenery to look at. There's no beauty to wonder at. We can't even observe the nature properly. We can't plant anything here. The zoos, you make zoo and you make money off of the animals that are supposed to be roaming freely. This is how wicked you are. The monkeys are in the zoo right now. They are depressed. They are in a cage. They are in captivity. Those people don't want to hear, and she's gone and scampered off quicker.
This is the book of Jeremiah 50 and verse 31. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord Yahawah of hosts.
The Lord is against the most proud.
Right.
He's against, especially Ishmael is coming up proud as well. The Lord is against the Edomites. The Lord is against all of the other nations that are not Israel. The Lord only cares about Israel because he chose him from birth. He said, you're going to be my elect. Read on.
For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
So the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Right now, they're deporting our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters. Right now in America, they are still killing our brothers and sisters in America at free will. And they're still killing our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters at free will as well. That's how they're proud. Proud saying that you're imposters in your country that you own. Proud in saying that they're aliens. Proud in saying that you guys are slaves. They're supposed to be our slaves. They're slaves on the loose. Especially Amalek. Amalek needs to be put in his place. You got more in that.
And all that, Jeremiah 50 and 33, thus says the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
And they took us captives and they held us down fast. They're still holding us down. They take people and say, oh, we're going to give you a little work. And they don't even pay the people. They put them in one back of a van and then they send them back to Mexico, or they send them back to South America, or they send them back to wherever they say they came from. That's how wicked and disgusting your nation of people are. The Edomites. All of these nations are disgusting and wicked, and they've oppressed our people, and they haven't stopped oppressing our people. They haven't said, these people have gone through enough. They've continued to oppress us to the point where the suicide rates in the Native American community is the highest on earth. That's how much they've oppressed us.
This is the book of Nahum 3 and verse 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery.
So destruction to all of these cities, all of these wicked places. The whole of it is full of lies and robbery. Right. Britain's built on lies. Britain's built on robbery. Hold on, I told you to get something.
Second Ezra chapter 7 and verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world.
So for Israel's portion, he made the world. This is God speaking. And we are the Israelites. Yeah, you can look. We are the Israelites. For the Israelites' sake, God made this world so that we could rule it righteously. But because we didn't want to follow after the commandments, we are now in the position that we're in.
Right.
We're now given all kinds of things that is holding us back. They take away our children from birth and inject them with, we don't even know what they inject us with. Right. They could be all giving us autism, ADHD, right, all kinds of mental health issues. Because these people is not an easy people. They're tricky and they're sly. Brett and Priest.
Proverbs 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people moan.
So when the righteous are in authority, there's happy days. The earth's at peace. There's no more murdering. There wouldn't be no reason for the FBI, the CIA, MI5 to even exist.
Right.
So all of these organizations are because the wicked are in rule right now. And the wicked is not stopped being wicked. The wicked is always going to continue to be wicked until his time is done. And he's on borrowed time right now. It's just for the 1/3 to realize that they're the kings and princesses of the earth, and for them to come back to their true heritage and nationality. That's all it is. Because their time is running short.
That's right.
They're fighting even against one another.
Right.
And when they say that the so-called black man, when they kill one another, it makes them happy. It makes me happy when they kill one another too. Because they're taking themselves out and they're doing it even worse than what we're doing it, because they've got guns, they've got they've got tanks that they're taking out each other with. They've got all kinds of ammunition over in Ukraine and Russia. They've got all kinds of ammunition over there in Palestine right now. What did I say? Maccabees, yeah.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1.
Yeah.
Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the law of their fathers.
So this is. Should I read that?
2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens.
So not long after this, the king, this wicked king, sent a wicked man like himself onto the Israelites. And what did he tell them?
To compel the Jews.
Sister, you know you're keeping a commandment. Sister, you're keeping a commandment, you know. Read them.
To compel the Jews to depart from the law of their fathers.
So this man was given a charge to be wicked and to make the Jews come away from their commandments.
Right.
Because when we come away from our commandments, that's when we're weak.
That's right.
And not to live after the laws of God, and to pollute also the temple of Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter.
And this is how wicked this nation is. They've always used psychological warfare,
Right.
saying that now you're gonna come away from, I'm gonna make you come away from your commandments, your beautiful heritage, and I'm gonna deceive you and trick you so that you now call your temple, the holy, beautiful temple that Solomon built, even from David's time built, you're gonna call it the temple of Jupiter. The temple of Jupiter. What kind of a stupid name is the temple of Jupiter?
And to call it the temple of Jupiter, Olympus, and that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
So, in other words, they want us to give it some full stupid name, and they want to do some wicked acts in the temple of God.
As they did desire that dwelt in the places, in the place.
Read on.
The coming of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people.
So, to the Israelites, this thing was grievous.
Right.
Of course it's grievous, because a man's coming in your temple, your holy, beautiful temple, and he's selling, and he's doing wicked acts in the temple. And they're still doing it to today, because in the churches, what they're doing, and in a place called the Amuna Castle, they used to have service above and have the slaves below, and they used to do some wicked things to the slaves below. They used to rape the little children. They used to beat the little children. They used to kill our people.
For the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women.
So what they were trying to do in the temple, they were trying to have all kinds of wicked, what they call the P. Diddy freak-off party. That's what they did in our temple. That's what they were trying to do.
Right.
We do all kinds of wicked abomination acts in our temple that is made for the Most High to dwell in.
And had to do with the women within the circuit of the holy places. And besides that, 14 things that were not lawful.
And besides this, they brought in things, all kind of idol, all kind of abominable food, all kinds of wicked things that they know that we can't mesh with. They came and brought it onto the temple. This is how wicked, disgusting. And you see the pride of this people to raise your hand on someone. To actually raise your hand on someone. Imagine if we came and licked off your head. Then some people would have something to say. But you actually came and raised your hand and you put profanity. This is why you people have to go.
That's
you people
right.
are wicked as hell. You people have to go. There's no way that you guys are gonna come and make the earth good. The earth is wicked because of you.
The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts.
So they made it illegal for us to keep the Sabbath day, for us to keep Pentecost, for us to keep Passover, for us to keep the high holy days that the Most High gave unto us. That's what they did. And now they don't have to do that because we have forgotten our heritage.
Right.
The majority of us don't know what Passover is, but tell them, excuse me, do you know when Christmas is? Oh yeah, Christmas is the 25th of December. Sister, what day is Christmas? Sister, what day is Christmas? What day is Christmas, King? What day is Christmas?
July the 23rd.
Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. There we go. No, stay for a minute, please. Because you quoted something very good. Because get me Amos chapter 5 and verse 21. Because this Christmas celebration is not lawful in the Bible. Because nowhere in the scriptures talks about celebrating Christmas. All praises, King. But this is how much the Lord hates Christmas.
This is book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 21. I despise your feast days.
So the Lord hates it when our people are celebrating Christmas, Easter and all kinds of crap.
Because on that day they force all the Christians to do things that they're not supposed to do. Like keep pork and do all kind of sitting, all kind of evil things. So
Right.
you cannot be pleased with it.
Alright, King. Did you know when the Israelites were first called Christians? Because Christians was a man-made term.
Well, Christianity came in when Christ come.
Alright.
That's where Christianity came. Before Christ coming, man, used to live under Judaism.
Pardon?
Man, he was living under Judaism.
He was living under the laws of God. Yes. Man, that's right. And there's certain laws in this Bible that we have to follow. Because did you know that you are a Jew according to the Bible?
I know that.
So, what's the day today?
Huh?
What's the day today?
Today, they call it Saturday.
What's special about Saturday?
Well, it's supposed to be the Sabbath.
Okay, King. So what is so significant about the Sabbath day? Do you know what you should be doing?
You're supposed to pray to God, you're not supposed to be working.
Alright, so what, if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing today?
What am I doing today?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to trip on the bread to them, I have a little reason, and there's no work today.
Alright, but did you know that on the Most High's high holy day, we can't cook, we can't spend any money, we can't clean, we can't be doing our own pleasure, because that's what it says in the scripture. On the Sabbath day, we're supposed to build, we're supposed to bring out the word onto our people. That's the only work that we can do on the Sabbath day. So, brother, I would say, come back to the laws, because there's certain laws that we have to keep. Can I bring out a few laws to you before you cut
No,
them?
but I don't have got the time. I will talk to you next
You've
time.
had time for me right
No,
now.
because I'm going somewhere. That's why some other partners are waiting on me.
I know, but what's worth it more? God or your friend that can wait a couple more minutes?
That is always personal.
Okay, so then just listen to a couple of his words before you leave. Get me Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5. And get me Exodus chapter 20, and we'll start at verse 3.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
So this is a commandment, King, that says we can't shave off our head bald like Michael Jordan and all of those other players that shave off their head, and we can't cut off our beards and the corner of our beards. We have to make it grow. So you're keeping a commandment, King, because you have on your beard. So all praises.
Don't make any cutting in their flesh.
When it talks about not making any cuttings in the flesh, it's talking about tattoos. Do you have any tattoos, King? All praises. That's a commandment that you're keeping. Then you probably didn't even know you were keeping.
Yeah, well, I know the Bible. Tell us enough to do them something by your skin.
All right.
I read my Bible.
All right.
Yeah.
Now read Exodus for me, please. Yo.
Exodus 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
This is talking about we're not supposed to have any idols before God. We can't put our woman before God. We can't put our children before God. We can't put the cross before God. We can't put Islam before God. None of these religions and these things on earth we can't put before the Bible, because this is how the Most High communicates with us.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath.
So we can't make any graven image, which means, you see that cross that they have in the Christian church? That's a graven image. You see that big rock that the Muslims will circle around and say that they're on their pilgrimage. I don't know what pilgrimage they're on, because there's nothing in there. Because it's just a rock. And
You said something earlier, brother. So this is what?
so, yeah, because Christianity is a man-made religion. That's why it has so many denominations. It doesn't have one straight through thing. And they will tell you that the Old Testament is done away with. But how can the Old Testament be done away with when they say that we have to keep the 10 Commandments? There's not just 10 Commandments, there's 613.
Alright, we'll talk next time.
Wait, can I give you a flyer before you cut
flyer,
them?
brother.
Alright.
You have a flyer there. Alright, you have a flyer. Please.
Someone resource me have a flyer. It's good, because the word's going out. And this is what we're out here to do. We're out here to bring out the word. We're out here to show our people you're a king. You're not a drug dealer. You're not a Rasta man. You're not a nigger. You're a king. You're a prince. You're a man that has power. You're a woman that has power with God.
That's right.
And you're a God's chosen person. You're God's chosen people. To be an Israelite is the best thing that can happen. Because you know that you're sorted. You know that God will always take care of you. You know that you know that you have a God.
Right.
All of these other nations, they don't have a God. They don't have a living power. They have idols, and they can keep the idols. Let's get back to Maccabees anyway.
2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 6.
Read out.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So they made it illegal for us to claim our heritage. They made it illegal for us to say we are the Jews. Because Amalek isn't the Jew, he's a Jewish.
That's right.
He wishes he was me. He wishes that he could do the things that we do. He wishes that he could follow the customs that we follow. And the worst thing is that he tries to fraudulently put himself in the Bible so much that now he's even wearing black.
And in the days of the kings, in the day of the king's birth, every month they were bought by bitter constraint.
So in every year, because the king celebrated his stupid, dirty, stinking birthday, which we're not supposed to be celebrating anyway, we were brought by bitter constraint, which meant we were brought forcefully and by force to celebrate this stupid custom of the king.
They were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus carrying ivy.
And ivy is not one light piece of weight, you know. Ivy is heavy. We were by bitter constraint made to carry ivy to please the king, made to dance to please the king.
Mother and son.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor city.
Your king, with the high-vis run thing on, anyway. Yeah. Come. Because you can't be tied up like that, man.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by a suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fresh fashion and be partakers of their sacrifices.
So we were forced to come and serve, and to what they were promoting, we were forced to come to do. We were forced to celebrate birthdays. We were forced to celebrate what the king wanted us to do. But we didn't want to do it because we had our heritage.
Right.
We had our laws. We knew we shouldn't be doing it.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles shall be put to death.
So it was either, this is what we say, this is what was said. You either conform to what we say or you die. Just like they did to us when we were in Africa, when we ran to the hills. They said convert to Islam or you die. Convert to Christianity or you die. Convert to what I tell you to do or you die. Or they hold our family ransom. That's the wickedness and lewdness and abominable nation that is still doing it till today.
That's right.
Because the CIA is still doing it.
Right.
The FBI is still doing it. MI5 or whatever the hell you want to call this stupid full kingdoms, secret service is still doing it. They always have leverage over you. They always find something about you that they can leverage so that they can use against you. But we have the truth, and the truth has set us free, so you can't hold any leverage against us. And it says, strive for the truth until death. So that's what we're going to do.
then might a man have seen the present misery. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children.
So there was 2 women that was Israelite women that was brought because they did what the Lord told them to do, which was to circumcise their children. Our children are supposed to be circumcised, which means that their foreskin has to be cut off.
Whom when they had openly led round about the city, the babies hanging at their breasts, they cast them down headlong.
So this wicked nation came and took our beautiful children off of the women and threw them down headlong. Threw them down so that their head could splash on the ground from a high place. That's how wicked. It's like they threw them down from one of those story buildings and made everyone came and watched the children heads split open. That's how wicked and horrible this nation was unto us, and they still are unto us.
They cast them down headlong from the wall, and others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secret.
So our nation, our people that took and said, no, we're not following after the stupid fool king's days, we're going to follow after the Sabbath day. So when they are following the Sabbath day, they had to do it in secret, because when we read up before, it said that they couldn't profess themselves to be a Jew. That they had to profess themselves to be some other nation. No, not some other nation, but they couldn't profess themselves to be a Jew. They had to profess to what the king wanted to profess. But in secret, they were carrying out the works of the Most High, because they knew that this is our heritage. We're not laying off our heritage. We're not going to be like the wicked Israelites and succumb to what the king says and do what he says to make our life easy.
To keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered to Philip, they were burnt together because they had made conscience, because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
So they got burnt in the cave. Young children got burnt in the cave.
Right.
Elder men got burnt in the cave. Women got burnt in the cave because they were trying to serve the Most High. Every time we come to serve the Most High, some crap comes our way. Last week, they wanted to come and say, oh, can you turn the speaker down? But they had over 100 odd people protesting, and they didn't tell them to shut up.
Right.
This is the wickedness of our nation. This is the wickedness of these nations. And we're out here to put these nations in their place. Because these nations are nothing but servants. They're supposed to be our servants, because we need servants to build up our walls.
Right.
We're going to need servants to build up our schools. We're going to need servants to build up our houses. Because I'm not going to tell any of my brothers and sisters, yo, can you build up my house for me? I'm going to make these wicked people that haven't worked a day in their life come and do something for me, because that's what they're meant to do. That's your purpose, to come and serve me. You weren't made, I wasn't made to serve you. That's why when you give me chat at work, I don't like to hear that chat. Bring it out.
Romans 12 verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove that is what is good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahawah.
So we can't be conformed to this world. We can't have our mind, we can't have our mindset on this place.
Right.
Yeah, there's certain things that have to go on this world, in this world, because we're still living in it. But we are not going to focus ourselves on the world by saying, oh, how can I get my next big bag? Let me work some overtime so I can get bare peas. Let me do certain things to enhance myself in this world. Because this world hasn't got anything to offer us. We've been trying to make it in this world for so long, and we've never been able to make it. So why do you think now you have an opportunity to make it? It's all an illusion. Democracy is an illusion. Saying that, oh, we're gonna give you a chance to vote. Oh, you can vote for whoever you want to, when we know that your voting system's rigged. But with that, I'm gonna close out, give it on to another powerful speaker that will speak in the spirit of the Most High. And I say, Barakatai Yahawah, Barakatai Washai, Barakatai Yahawah, Barakatai Washai. I Manuela, Shalom, Kwam Yashuala, Kwam Yashuala. All praises be unto the Most High.